Hey guys, Trevor Holt here. It's Sunday, 5th of May, 2024. Just going on my regular bushwalks. I do every Sunday. Got some clients that come out and spend a bit of time in the great outdoors. So and it's good too, you know, get some fresh air in your lungs, get you touching base with, you know, trees and nature. You can hear some birds and different wildlife, and at the same time getting a few steps in and getting your blood circulating and your joints moving a bit, which is all great for your overall wellness. So today I was thinking it's probably a very important subject to talk about is emotional regulation. Sometimes it can take a lot of work on yourself to identify how you regulate or what emotional regulation you require, and then B, how you're going to regulate that emotion. And often, especially from my experience in high stress industries, projects, international projects or even domestic projects in general, can become quite stressful, meeting deadlines which other people create for you. It's nothing that you sign up for, and depends on the project and the culture of the people that you're doing it for. Obviously has a big impact on this, but it can be times I found in high stress situations that you can't manage your emotions. You become so stressed out, so worked up, you're losing a lot of sleep, worrying about outcomes and technical difficulties you might be having, that your emotion just becomes pervasive, or the stress becomes pervasive throughout your entire life, you know, through your personal life as well. And because you haven't identified it as this issue, or with projects in particular, you're sort of living that project, and as a project man, it was like a bashing of your chest. I'm a project man. I put the project first. I'm a project man. You know, the project's my number one priority, and that's what, you know, I thought was what's required of me. You know, and not being able to break that stress, because some of these projects, you know, some of them were months long, or some of them were, you know, 6 months long. Some projects I was on for 15 months, you know, and that's sometimes can be a lot on your body and on your mind. But today I want to talk about, you know, obviously being able to manage your emotions so you're in control of your reactions to things, because stress can sometimes, and lack of sleep, and sometimes can create angry emotions and short-temperedness. And obviously, you know, in this society, we don't want that. We want to have open communications, and we want to be respectful and actually have thought behind some of the words that we're saying, especially with our loved ones at home. So emotional regulation is very important, and I suppose, you know, I do talk and promote about, you know, self-empowerment, self-determination, you know, personal responsibility and all that sort of stuff, and it's very good to do. But sometimes these environments that we put ourselves in are toxic environments, and they where stress is created, and and expected, and sometimes the willingness to set boundaries or to say no for something for whatever reason. It's really hard for me to put the finger on it, but it's very hard to say no when someone says, oh, can you get these drawings out by such and such a date, you know, because you know, you have it in your head that you're a project man. You put the project first. If that's what the project requires, that's what you do. So, you know, you had plans to go out for dinner or something. Oh, I can't go out for dinner. I've got to do some, you know, drawings or whatever, you know. So, so part of it, I suppose, is understanding the environment you're in and challenging some of these, I suppose, deadlines or some of these tasks that you're given, and using words and communication to probably advocate for yourself, you know, and to establish some boundaries, you know. That's probably the most challenging thing that I found in my career, 20 odd plus years in projects, 3D modelling and design, and that was actually self-advocating boundaries for myself and putting my family first. For some reason, you know, you beat yourself on the chest, you know, I'm a project man, that's what I am, that's what I do, and I put the project first. But setting boundaries for yourself can help with emotional regulation. So, and that's what we're trying to achieve here. We're trying to achieve emotional regulation within our own bodies, you know, within our own minds. And to do that sometimes takes the art of saying no, or establishing boundaries through communication. It's not easy. It's not easy when you've got a project manager screaming at you, or there's some boss at the back going, oh, this is costing me $30,000 an hour, every hour this is not done, and we need to do this and this and this and this and this. There's a saying, you know, like, lack of planning yesterday doesn't constitute an emergency for me today, you know, and sometimes their lack of planning, they try to put it onto you as your problem, you know, but you can only do what you can do. And yeah, so, and the biggest problem is, I suppose, too, is money, because this world's revolving around you know, financial dependence, I suppose, where we're dependent on making money and we need a job. So fear of losing job, or fear of being stood down or whatever because you don't comply to these things is another big contributing factor to having inability to regulate emotions. So part of it as well, so setting boundaries and establishing, you know, what you can and can't do, and actually being kind to yourself. You know, you don't have to do 60 hours a week. Doesn't matter what project you're on, you know, it doesn't matter who you're doing, you know, you gotta put yourself, take some time off for yourself. You gotta take some time off for your family and your kids, and you know, you got to do that, because, you know, our working life's like, you know, probably 50 years or 40 years, you know, so it's not a race to the finish line. We've got a lot of times to try and build our career and build our time and our finances, so, you know, we don't have to rush into it and do it. So setting boundaries and keeping our mind you know, calm is part of the process. So learning key communication tactics and communicating clear and precise boundaries is one thing, but also establishing, I suppose, financial freedom in such as getting your finances in such a state where you don't stress or don't I suppose, yeah, don't stress out, or you're not going to lose the plot if you lose your source of income. So that comes with, you know, spending, you know, credit card spending. You know, you don't, if you save up for something instead of putting it on the credit card, you know, instead of pre-purchasing stuff, why don't you pre-save stuff, and consider, you know, your debt and the serviceability of it, and you know, should things go wrong, can you still have a way of financing this stuff? And that's why it's really, really good, couples in particular, to work together, because two people working together are very strong and can't be beaten, because you can have someone with a stable income or a stable job, you know, even if it's a bit lower, and then someone out, you know, earning the big dollars on some more risky sort of, you know, short-term contracts or whatever. But you're empowered to do that because you've got support, you know. So you know, being able to set clear boundaries through clear communication and creating a position in your life where your finances are in order are two things you can do to create emotional regulations. Because obviously sleep and stress are two big factors in not being able to manage your emotions. So trying to avoid stress and getting a good night's sleep will go a long way towards it. But also circuit breakers. So, you know, we have a weekends for a reason, you know, to de-stress and de-chill and take our minds off stuff. And I know, you know, sometimes, you know, truck drivers or international truck drivers and project men and a lot of people on the mines or whatever, they might work 14 or 21 days on, 7 days off or whatever. And that stint can get overwhelming in that, but just trying to find ways, even while you're at, you know, on your working stint, to take time out. And I feel the problem is a lot of people are using alcohol or drugs to take that time out to null the thoughts in the brain. So trying to work on sort of like meditation, you know, maybe 30 minutes of breathing exercises, or, you know, going to the pool or the gym, or going for a walk. These nature walks are really good to break the mental stress in your body. So just trying to establish routines in your life so you're not thinking, you know, so you're managing your stress, you know. So because we all need a bit of stress in our life, it gives us motivation to do things and to progress forward. But it's just managing that stress in such a way that it's not impacting your emotional, you know, regulation. So breaking and building social connections is so important, especially intimate social connections. I feel are strong. Like if you've got someone on your corner, regardless what's going on, and you get that good relationship, I feel you're unstoppable, you know. And I know it's hard to find in that, but I feel even like social clubs, sporting clubs, some of these big turnaround stories I hear on the TV about people struggling, you know, go back to their roots with their social clubs or their sporting clubs or whatever, and try and find solace there. So, but yeah, so just avoiding drugs and alcohol to manage your stress or your sleeping habits, I suppose, can go a long way. And just natural remedies like breathing, walking, going to the gym, you know, wearing yourself out or whatever, and having a good break, good regular break from it, you know, a couple of days break off, you know, just to reset your brain and reset your mind, can go a long way to creating emotional, you know, regulation. So sometimes stress can come from other places outside of work. It could be at home. You might be having difficulties with finances at home and not being able to pay the bills, and that could have an impact on your relationship as well. And sometimes it's really hard to have conversations when you're talking about finances or cutting back on things that we love, or this or that, and differences of agreement, positions, I suppose, can be challenging to manage. But if you can't sit down and talk about it in the moment, you know, without in a regulated way, then just walk away. The conversation can come back to it in a couple of hours, you know, or come back to it tomorrow. It's not healthy to try and force you know, the conversation through yelling and screaming or something. It's you know, having that awareness, I suppose, that the conflict is escalating, and just walk away, take a breath, take a drink, take a deep breath, and come back, you know, tell each other, you know, what you mean to each other, and that, and you're trying to work through a difficult situation. So I feel as men, we do struggle, especially with some of these emotional things, to communicate, and I feel that's one of the best attributes we can improve on, is our communication skills, and trying to not take things personally, or not take things to heart so much, and just be proactive in looking at, you know, what we're trying to address and what we're trying to say, and saying that, and allowing other people to have their perspective in it as well. So yeah, so I think emotional regulation is a lot of factors, but if we can just try and manage our boundaries, set our boundaries, our personal boundaries, our professional boundaries, work out some good positive habits in our diet, in our exercise routine, have breaks from, you know, stressful jobs or that, you know, try and manage our finances in such a way that they're not overwhelming us, and, you know, we're not going to stress out about things, and just try and get into that place of contentment, I suppose, where we're looking after ourselves and looking after our family, and actually, you know, work is important, but it's not the do or die all of everything. You shouldn't be putting all your attention and efforts into, you know, into work. You need to try and, as a whole, as a society, we need to try and develop, you know, social connections more, especially in this internet, you know, texting and this internet world, virtual world that we're living in, and that social skills are becoming more and more important. You know, AI can't take over human social skills, you know, so it's something that AI is reducing our capacity in, but I feel if we can focus more on communicating, both written and oral words, we can help establish our boundaries a little bit better, and help understand when we're feeling emotionally unable to regulate, you know, or it might transfix into anger or rage. So just walk away, take a swim, take a swim, or go for a walk, or something like that. Take deep breaths. But it is something to be very conscious of, and work towards. So if you're feeling, you know, that you're angry all the time, or you're cranky, just have a think about your own life and your own exchanges during the day. You know, are you always fighting with people? Are you, you know, cranky, angry? Is there times where you can just sit down and chill out and have nice conversations with people? Could be some signs that you might need some work on some of these strategies to help you regulate your emotions. But anyway, guys, that's what I want to talk about today. It's a beautiful day here today, and not only do I talk the talk, but I walk the walk. I'm out here outdoors, and there's no excuses for it really here in Australia. So, you know, taking the time to heal yourself and to reset yourself, and to get into that nice spot to engage in healthy conversations, I feel can help regulate our emotions. So if you've got anything else that helps you, feel free to put something in the comments, or send me a text or something. But I feel, yeah, the most important ones, I suppose, are boundaries, communication, setting boundaries, engaging in communication, and creating activities that help with your sleep and lower your stress levels, to and engage in other people in society, in, you know, in your community, or your intimate relations, or your relationships with your kids in general. So all these things can help regulate your emotions, using breathing exercises, or just this awareness. If we can build that awareness up, and then we know what we can improve. No one's perfect, and everyone can improve. So just trying to using our emotional intelligence to identify where that improvement can be and what can be done about it, can create better outcomes in society. Okay guys, have a good week. See ya. Bye.